Hello and welcome to this very impromptu mini-series that I'm hoping to capture in the next upcoming months. I spend a ridiculous amount of time in the map editor, and I've been asked quite a few times if I could do a speed run or something to show what I'm doing in here. And I've always thought it was impossible, just basically due to the time and all the steps that I feel making a truly great map entails. But I think I've got a way where just by breaking it down into 8 or 9 or maybe even 10 segments from beginning to end, and the map you're looking at, in fact, is one that I hope that we'll do a lot of this on. This is a map that I've been working on for 6 months, and I hope to have it done within another 6 months. But if what I'm hoping to get across doesn't fit with that map, we'll just go back to old maps that I built. And I really want to explain why and how things have come to be, and not just show you a final product. Here's my map. Have fun. I want to show you what is really going on from beginning to end. And this series might not be for you. You might disagree with everything I say, or you have just plenty of talent and you're not looking for help. But if you are, looking to get better at this, or if you're new and you find the whole process very, very overwhelming and daunting, let me show you. Okay, I thought that little song and video in the beginning was way longer. I had just a little bit more to say. First things first, I'm passionate about this simulator, this game, if you will. I love cities. I actually went to the University of North Dakota for urban development and city planning. I look at cities as living organic things. They're very fascinating to me. And we do, of course, have a relationship between the cities and the earth it sits on. Okay. The second thing I wanted to say is it's kind of like a little disclaimer. I feel in no way like I'm telling people how to do this properly, or anything like that. I'm, all I want to do is show you what works for me. Okay. I've been, I think, 6, 7 years. I've been building these maps. I'm not able to put out a lot of them fast, and I'll explain why in a little bit. But this has been going on through a lot of trial and error. I understand that 95% of the people watching are going to start with a terrain party. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just a different type of style. But I myself, I'm not going to be using terrain party bases. Okay, it's again, there's nothing right or wrong with it. It's just that I feel that I just want to feel everything out when I make this, so I know that it's mine and it's perfect, and there's no stone left unturned, so to say. Okay, so I just I said, this is very impromptu. So I just have a piece of paper written beside me, and I have probably 8 or 9 videos that I'm going to be making. This one is called Getting Started. So I'm actually going to be doing very little terrain work, if any. And I'm just going to kind of go through some talking points on what I'm thinking about, or what have you, when I start a map. Okay. Just a little glimpse ahead. We're going to be talking about infrastructure, rivers, working the terrain, all in the details. That's an episode about detailing, obviously, mountains, feature areas, and then I might add 1 or 2 more. Okay. So first thing is, making a map is, I don't think it's a weekend project. I don't even think it's a project for for a month. Um, I I think people severely underestimate the time and commitment, and I feel like Well, let's be honest. I think we're coming up on 50,000 works that have been published on the workplace, and you know, don't don't look at me funny, but I 95% of them are not good. They're just things that are thrown together, and that's fine, you know. But it's a big commitment. It is, okay? If you want to, if you're not able to spend, 4 hours a week on it, or if you're busy, or if you got a busy career like me and a kid, maybe simply just choosing the right environment can get you going on your way. And what I mean by that is I'm looking at this and there's probably going to be 50 tiles of detailing for me. And of course I'm going to do underwater currents and how I think it should be. But if you want to get into this or try to master something without killing your time, start with an island map. If you start with an island map, you could just do 6 tiles and call it a day, right? Does that make sense? As opposed to a more continental map where there is no coastline, there is no sea, there's no large lakes. You're in for 81 tiles of crafting and carving and well thought out precision. It's quite a task. Um, so that's one of the things I wanted to share. Secondly, and this might be kind of obvious, but when I make maps, I try not to leave anybody out. I am very fortunate. I have a very powerful computer, and I could download 4,000 assets and all of these mods, and it would all be fine. Okay, but not everyone has that, and I understand that. And when I put the time and work into this, I really, 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 I just don't want to keep. I don't want to leave anybody out. Okay. I also don't want to build a city for the people either. I just want to leave them set up well. Okay. I pulled up some things here. So this is a couple works that I've done recently, and just break it down to you and how I view this and the time. So 57,000 people have been to this map page, and 45,000 have taken it at some point. Okay, and if I just bare minimum, if every person who has taken it, played around with it, looked around, checked it out, and built something small in it just for an hour, that's 45,000 hours of enjoyment that I've given the community. 45,000 hours. That means that I could have worked on it for a year, every hour for a year, and this number still dwarfs my effort. I did actually work on this map for a year, which is why it's funny. But that's just my thinking on you could either you know, release a bunch of maps, or you could just really, really, really mold a couple of them to get them to stand out and to get them to be just exceptional. And I think you guys know what I'm talking about. Once every few months, someone throws out a map and it's just stellar. It's just amazing. I'm gonna try to keep people's names out of it and but I think you guys know what I'm talking about, where something just pops up and everybody wants a piece of it, and everybody's just saying how amazing it is, and that's just kind of what I want to share with you guys. Okay. I don't think I need to talk more about it, but I have such a nice page. Just another example here. I think I looked at this the other week, and yeah, so 125,000 people have been here, and just about 90,000 people have done the same. So that's 75% of and that's a lot of enjoyment hours put out. Of course, this is over the course of, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, but that's kind of what sings to me, and that's why I think it's so important to just to kind of do it the way that I do it. Okay, so let's begin. This is what we've been working on. We, as in me. since May 6th. It is now November 10th. So we just passed the 6 month point, and unfortunately, I don't have too much to show for it. Um, I would say this map is 20% done, maybe 25. Let's go with 25. Makes me feel better. Okay, so what I like to do first, and again, I'm not the terrain party guy. I've kind of evolved from it, I would say, and I just find it a little bit better. So step one is rough draft. Okay, you're going to shape just the basic layout, basic pattern of what you're looking for. Don't waste a single second detailing anything. Just get the shape of it, back up, look at it. Is it what I want? No, change it. But this is not where you're going to be spending a lot of time. Okay. Step two is, believe it or not, lay down the roads. Step three, water. Lay down the rivers, and then that time you should be looking at what you need to change for your second draft. Okay. Um, God's green earth that we live on, if there's a mountain in the way, we need to put the road around it or through it. But on here, you can play God. You lay down the road and you put the mountain beside it. It's such a easier idea, right? Okay. So anyway, this actually started out as islands, um, and the road network wasn't clicking. I didn't need any rivers, but I changed it. I changed it to make it work to what I wanted it to be. And again, remember, this is over 4 or 5 months, and I think it was the hardest part was just getting this general shape of what I wanted down. Okay. I will, I think I said it earlier, I will talk about the infrastructure and the rivers separately because they are extremely important, if not the most important things, hardscape of your layout, so to say. But yeah, so this map here is just beginning its second draft. So I had the basic shape, and here's some good examples of things I haven't touched. My mouse is going out. So here, this this is my rough draft. You might be watching this and you can't believe it, but it's the truth. I wanted a mountain here, so I symbolized this area with a mountain. I want a mountain range here. I symbolize this area with a mountain range. Again, mountain chain right here. This took all of 9 seconds to make. Again, here. Again, here. I don't even know if we're going to keep this braided stream river idea that I have. I don't even know if we're going to keep this. I try to release a map every April, and I guarantee you it will not look anything like this because it's ever evolving. Okay. If I get far on this and this island doesn't work, I'm not afraid to take it out at all because I want a very good finished product. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, let me just recap. So I made the rough draft. So everything was flat or it had a mountain. That's it. Okay. Basic shape, and I put the water level on something easy, like 200, I think it is. 201. I have no idea why I made it 201, but it's 201. Okay. And then we started here. You can tell that I work in small areas. Okay. And then I went over here, and then I went over here, and now I'm here. Okay. And now I'm going to continue to do one tile at a time until the whole second draft is done. And then I'm going to take a very long look at it and see what needs to be changed. Okay. I just want to share with you the reason why I started in the corner is I'm kind of big on feature areas, and I'm kind of nervous about this. I've never designed a tile to be made for a natural, no, what do you call it? Uh, yeah, like national park. but that's what I'm doing, and that's why this map is called Yucatan Bay, because I want my stuff to stand out. I don't want someone saying, "Hey, did you see that latest tropical map?" I say, "No, I want them to say, "Hey, did you see that map with the Mayan ruins? Did you see that map of Chichen Itza?" That to me is going to be way more memorable than than just the latest island map. So anyway, we started there because that's going to be the feature area. This mouse is about dead. The feature area, and then I just kind of worked from it. And we need to get all the way across here before we move on. Okay. Apologies. I had to break this up into segments, but I just want to circle back to what I was talking about earlier when I'm painting a rough draft of the shape of the layout of what I'm looking for. And I don't know if you might have caught me when I said it's been at this for, 4 or maybe even 5 months. And I didn't really stop to explain why. I I spend a great deal of time right here, just looking at something and what is it giving back to me. I try to I try to focus on a couple things. You'll notice this is the dead center right here, and there's nothing there. It's water, and that's what I actually think we're looking for. Have you ever looked at something and you found it beautiful or attractive or pleasing to the eye, but you didn't know why? It's probably something to do with the golden ratio, and you'll have to look it up. I'm not going to explain it here, but basically, it's a mathematical formula that um, it's just a ratio. So let's say that like you want a focal point in your map, and if you closed your eyes and opened them, I'd say the first place you'd probably look at is these small islands in the bay with the break where the ferries will go. And it's very simple. If you just assign them a number, like these small islands is a size 2, well, then I would assign this next part as size 4, and then 4 plus 2 will give me 8, and I would categorize this as 8, and then 8 plus these 8 would give me 16. Basically, it's just a mathematical formula of pleasantry, and I actually try to incorporate that a lot in the final layout of what we're trying to achieve here. And I'm just thinking of things in the past. Like let's say I built that a big dam in the map. I would not want it in the middle. I would want it somewhere off to the side. So just things like that. Um, you got to think that the layout is going to be your skeleton, so to speak, skeleton of your project, and all the hills, the mountains, the beaches, the whatever. That's the aesthetic part of it, but you don't change your layout, so you really want to make sure you get your layout right. I hope this looks good. Like I hope this looks good to you, because it took me a long time to get here. But like I said in that intro video, I want to tell you why, and that's literally why is I chose an off-center focal point, which was right here, and I just kind of followed this pattern, and you can kind of see the water almost harmonizes it, and so yeah, this is how I decided on that layout. And also, I want to circle back on, you get the rough draft and you're making revisions, and what I mean by that, revisions, they don't have to be anything big or small. They're just updates. They're just updates, right? So, you know, what did I say? Step one is make the rough draft. So just your rough layout. Step two, add the roads. Step three, add the water. And then I look at it, and I'm just giving you a really rough example, but this is the first river I drew. It's, I'll talk about rivers later, but that's river A. And then here's river B coming. And I think we're going to keep it pretty much like this. We'll see. But anyway, just a little bit of example is this is a bay, right? So all the water is coming out of the bay. So naturally, the water coming from River A is going to come out of the bay like this. And now water from River B, it's not going to take a left hook and cut across the water that's already coming out. So naturally, it's going to join in with the current, the already moving water, and it's going to go down this way, right? And that's just how these little touches happen where there's silt and sand coming out of the water. It's a river, right? And that's why we have just little touches like this sand is coming out and it's making it turn. Because that's how I would expect it to look in real life. I would expect you to see over time that it would be turning with River A. And if you go even farther, you can actually see two trails of water. These things do naturally happen, but this is man-made, of course, where you'd have a sheltered bay. But that's just one example of what I wanted to tell you about, you know, using your time zooming back and just looking at it. Another example is this used to be islands and we added a mainland, so now we have water coming in from this way, and you know I haven't done it yet, but all this edging, or most of this edging to the ocean side or the seaside, it's going to be pretty rough. It's going to be touched up beyond this, and it's going to be rough. And the inside is going to be the smooth, sandy sides because the tide goes up or down, and that's what gradually wears it down. But you got to think, this is the ocean or sea, if you will. This is going to come crashing into the mainland, and this is what's going to erode much, much faster. See, I've already kind of started where I visualize the water coming in. And this is way out here, so this has been getting hit the hardest, and this is probably not going to be very gentle either. So those are just a couple examples of where I'm at after that you know first layout going into the second draft. I think I've got pretty much all my points across of what I do in like the initial first stages. Um, so yeah, I'll probably be making another one of these, and I think I think we'll be talking about the networks. Yeah, I know we'll be talking about the networks before the rivers. Um, I don't really have a time or a schedule. I'll just get at it when I can.